Tatan Gudador Omaran Mamdo Elevate Goyadudrakai Asher Nishpati Ve'ami Yonalemati Adonai, Shir Adonai, Shir Adonai, Adonai, Ashumi Alim Yeshua, Sakru Vayoli, Elono Vekoli, Roman Waranaya Loki Nivishata Ruvar Krishna Nikato Sharanaya Loki. Doing so, rise, please. 21. He's more than happy. Be seated. Here's 27 and 20. Please, Lord, share the Yohan Shabbat.
On this Shabbat, the day that is past, we've been remembering Arnold Bloom, Leah Blumberg, Sam Edelstein, Max Epstein, Ernest K., Owen Lowenstein, Minnie Callister, Penny Friedman. Tonight we're remembering Annette Katz, Gladys Pollock, Jerome Schumann, Joseph Solomon, Meyer Spector, Sam Weiner, Ernest Davine Levinson, Aaron Lipton, Philip Milikowski, Carl Middle, Rita Friedman, Joshua Gordon, Oscar Kaplan, Julius Miller, Ruth Miller, Ellen Pressman, Jean Baumgarten, Madeline Glass, Joan Klein, Anna Rothberg, Sylvia Thine, Laura Epstein, Robert Hyatt, Greta Warren Safier, Stephen Slotnick, Sandra Zedek, Zvi Agami, Asama Agami, Lawrence Cohen, Jay Goldman, Jerry Clark, Therese Lyman, Ann Rothenberg, Raymond Sato, Jerry Shube, Sidney Broom, Mary Roberto, Sidney Schwartz, Florence Shedroff, Marsha Goldberg. The 9 Corners Cottage is empty. Gadal, Gadal, Shanera, Yama, Ikra, Te, the Yamli Mafate, the Kayakan, Yamikan, Kaye, Kobe, Israel, Adala, Bisman, Hari, Rame, Please be seated. Shalom. This week we are reading Parshat Yitro, which includes the 10 Commandments. And by a common count, number 3 of the 10 is Lo tisa Hashem Hashem Elohecha l'shot. Do not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. God will not forgive anyone who takes his name in vain. So I am curious, what puts this in the top 10 commandments, right? Adultery, murder, dishonoring your parents. Why is this on that list? What is so bad about it? And by the way, all the other commandments, it doesn't say God will not forgive the one who takes it, right? God doesn't say don't murder. God will not forgive you if you murder. Apparently God will, right? Good, right? But why is this on the list? And of all of them, why would this be one that might be unforgivable? The floor is open. Right? What's so bad about taking up? Yes?
Without some respect for higher authority, the rest of those.
Right? If you don't respect God, right, you're not going to pay attention to any of the other commandments. Okay? Thank you. All right. Anyone else wanna have? Go ahead, Josh.
It's about the relationship.
It's about the relationship. Say more.
If you don't have a relationship with God, what does it all mean to you? Nothing.
Okay, so taking God's name in vain maybe says something about the nature of your relationship with God. Okay. Anyone else want to weigh in? Like, why would this be so dire? And by the way, keep in mind that over on the other tablet, there's one about not bearing false witness against your neighbor. So this is not even about swearing in vain, right? This is about non-swearing use of God. We've got swearing against God's name in vain over here, but on this tablet we have, even if you're not swearing still, any other ideas? Fear factor, right? So, they used to say, that's my name, don't wear it out. Who was that? Even Herman, right? I think that's one quote. Right, but there you go, right? And you're gonna need God, right? So don't. It's like crying wolf, right? If you say, "Oh God," and it's something that is not particularly important, then you really need it. God's going to talk to you about it. So we, by the way, take this very seriously. So in fact, the name of God that is spelled in Hebrew Yud He Vav He, the Jehovah's Witnesses are definitely pronouncing it wrong, but we don't attempt to pronounce it in the correct way, because that might be taking God's name in vain. And in fact, in ancient times, it was only used by the high priest on the holiest day of the year, at the holiest time, and the rest of the year we used other names like Elohim or Adonai or Hashem, which just means the name. And even in writing, you'll see people write like G-G. I actually received an email today where someone was using G exclamation point question mark D. I thought it was like an interesting grammatical approach, right? Sorry? I don't know what it is. So, maybe the idea is it's kind of a diluting the brand, so to speak. So one of the things is, for some reason, on an email list of copyright and trademark attorneys. I don't know how that happened. I actually think I do, but it's not important now. And so the issue is your brand can be devalued, right? So that's what happened to Xerox and Kleenex. It started as brand names, and then eventually it just became any nose rag or anything that makes copies was called by that name. Right? So searching, like, well, I'm going to Google it, even if you're using Bing. Does anyone here actually use Bing, by the way? God bless, right? So when the robots take over, they won't be able to find it. Great. All right. So but maybe the idea is that taking God's name in vain means you are not taking it seriously. Its efficacy will wear off. Or, I mean, look, the other thing is, as Josh was saying, it's a sign of respect, right? So most people, even when they're adults, don't call their parents by their first name, mom or dad, right? And so, people, when my grandfather was a rabbi in Brooklyn, and like he was not just, rabbi was not just his name, rabbi was also his pronouns, right? It'd be like, rabbi is coming. Like, let's ask rabbi, not the rabbi, just rabbi, right? And so the idea was, well, since the rabbi is close to God, we can't use his actual name, right? And that has sort of worn off in this day and age. So maybe that's the seriousness of it. It's wearing out God's name, something like that. Any other ideas before I bring this on? Anything that I said spark? So there's a teacher of Amir of Parmeshlan who's a Hasidic master, who says there's something unique about using God's name in vain, as opposed to all other sins, which is that any other sin that you commit, the tradition is right on Rosh Hashanah, there's a book of life, and the idea is that if you repent, your sin is erased from the book. If you sin using God's name, that sin can never be fully erased because you can't wipe out God's name. So I might say that in a broader sense, right? If someone commits a bad deed, that deed can in some sense be forgiven, in general, right? It may take a lot, right? But if you sin in God's name, right? If you do something bad and you say, I'm doing it because of God, or I'm doing it in the name of what is holy, then that never can totally be erased because you connected your deed to God, God's self. So there's actually a study I read about sort of different societies and what are the worst first words in society. I'm not going to mention those words here, but so for example, in Germany, the worst first words are those around excrement, because that's a society that's very fastidious, whereas the ones around sex advocates, right? In England, some of the worst are actually around blood, and specifically the blood of Jesus, right? That's a religious offense, right? Whereas they'll drop F-bombs left and right, those don't really count, right? And so in America, we're uptight about what we're uptight about, so that determines what our worst offenses are, right? So every society, sort of, what is most taboo is what is most important. So then maybe what God is saying here is, of all the things that you could take seriously, my name is the most serious. And if you make it a common word, then it loses its efficacy. So I think everything that everyone here said kind of ties or fits together. But, I think a lot of us sort of casually, will throw out, in various contexts, just sort of like, right? And do you really need to be invoking the divine in that moment, or are you just mildly frustrated, right? And so, even though, right, you may not think of that as being such a serious thing, and God is actually not God's name. God is just a title. But when you do that, maybe it takes away a little bit from when you are really reaching out to God and you really need it. And you're kind of wearing away the road that you might want to walk in a more serious way. Gotcha. All right, it's time now for Mari. Turn to page 39A for the bar food, which is Page 41, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elohim, Adonai Adonai Elohim. 43. Page 46. Israel. Page 45 of Vedic life because of trouble and distress. Page 46, please, if you're comfortable doing so. Sonnet Amidah, pages 47 through 50. You are still in your evening prayer, please take as long as you need, otherwise follow with me as we do. By a Right, any English want to help with the link? Next time. 1, 2, 3. Orders Kadal Indadash Miraba Namad Irapute Yamikmapute Paikon Yomikon Paik Israel Bagala Isman Habib Rumame Ishira Tilam Yamaya Ara Ishtala Ar Imam Nase Adar Italabi Kala Shah Lahila Bolbir Kata Shirata Kata Nanamata Nanina Neama Ramain Ishlama Rabam Ishmaya Sakai Malpinuvia Polis Fredal Ramain Aseh Shalom Imraman Huya Aseh Shalom Lahila Polis Fredal. Please be seated. Shalom.
Shalom.
So let's see, Mazal tov to the Blick and Molnar families. Jonah Blick, his parents, Randy and Adam, grandparents, Allison, Philip, Barry and Scotty Blick, Stephen and Patty Zandville, and Debbie Morris Simon. And Hudson Molnar, his parents, Barbara and Matt, and grandparents, Herb and Nero Molnar, and Bob and Terry Newman, on the B'nai Mitzvah of Jonah and Hudson tomorrow. Pack a lunch. Although, if you wait long enough, there will be the first appearance of Bagelicious at B'nai Torah. Keep that. Let's see, the Malcolm and Etty and Michael alone in the birth of the great granddaughter, Fran Reddish, and her children Oren, Hirsch, Allison Reddish, and daughter Lisa, the birth of a granddaughter, Marla Abigail. Mazal to Joan Rubenstein, the bar mitzvah of her grandson, Saul Rubenstein, at this tomorrow. Also, Mazal to new members, or welcome members Allison and Josh Goldstein. And unfortunately, condolences the loss of Elizabeth Geller, mother of Karen and Stephen Lipsky, grandmother Alexa, and Harrison. Things coming up. Monday morning, Minion is at 8:45 in observance of President's Day. Our next coffee and commentary with Rabbi Pike is on Saturday, February 22nd, 10 a.m. Also in the realm of Jewish learning, Rabbi Kay is teaching a class on anti-Semitism, the world's oldest. That's not the actual title. The title is Glory. Just remember it. The first sort of trial week is done, but there's still a chance to join for the remaining 5 sessions. That's on Wednesday nights. Everything is happening February 23rd. There's a gathering of the synagogue at 10:30. Our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders are making woven bracelets with Club 345, and our middle schoolers are going to Center Ice Arena. The boomers can go and have a fried chicken dinner. So, everyone's doing something. And then on March 1st, there is a special kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade service, and with a special focus on those who received their Siddur recently. And then also on that day is the next session of Nosh and Drosh, not your typical college students. And then also on March 1st, leave the kids at home. This is parents only, parents with kids of all ages, or basically anyone who does not have kids bringing with them, for a parents' night out in the newly opened Putt Shack in Dunwoody. Vegetarian meals, water, and sodas, and 1 game of mini golf, all included. And registration closes this week, so you can sign up. Let's see what else. Tomorrow morning services are at 9. Tomorrow evening, Mincha will be at 6, followed by snack and study. And our topic will be tricking someone into sin. that you can figure out. And we'll finish up with Martha and Paula. And also, thank you to everyone who has been patient with our moving of time. What we have learned is that if we have services late, some people come. If you have services early, other people come. Some people come no matter what, and some people don't come no matter what. We basically make the square of our we are next week, we are at 6, and as the sun moves later, we will be moving towards the regular time, or over the summer we need to try some later times to take advantage of daylight. But next week we are at 6. All right, I think that's everything. Stick around after us for a little bit of challah and say hello to someone before you go, and we'll finish with Shalom Aleichem on page 5. Shalom Aleichem. Good.